Clarkson, PC Campbell.
If you don't like the changes that we've made, I say the door is open and you can leave.
Jeremy Clarkson, a name that never fails to spark a reaction. Right now, rumors are swirling that he could be arrested, and people are angry. The public isn't holding back, with social media lighting up over what many are calling an unfair move. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for your incredible support. To celebrate, we're giving away £1,000 to 10 lucky winners, £100 each. Here's how to enter. Subscribe to our channel. Like this post. Drop your postcode in the comments. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, we'll randomly select the winners. Don't miss your chance to be part of the £1,000 giveaway. Start now, and it could be you.
A jail in 20 minutes.
Mr. Clarkson, could I ask you just to calm down? And your continued presence here has constituted a breach of the peace. So therefore, I'm also arresting you, okay? Under the Public Order Act, okay? You do not have to say...
Keir Starmer's leadership and the direction of the UK have become focal points of discussion. But why is everyone's attention suddenly shifting to this? The news broke like wildfire. Rumours began circulating that Jeremy Clarkson, the outspoken TV personality and host of Top Gear and Clarkson's Farm, might be arrested. For someone like Clarkson, known for speaking his mind and stirring up controversy, the idea of an arrest wasn't entirely out of the realm of possibility. However, what truly caught people off guard was the sheer amount of attention this rumour received.
It's the passing down of your family farm to the next generation. As I said earlier, we want our younger ones to take on our farms, our heritage. And for example, for me, I haven't got a farm to pass down, but I have got a business that I've grown since I was 16 years old. So to pass that on to my child now, I'm going to get taxed on that. And actually, can he afford to take that business on? And if he has to then sell 2 tractors, for example, to pay that tax bill, is that going to be unprofitable to actually then make sure you can have a livelihood off that business? So I think that's the challenge. I think that's why everyone's come together today, and I think it's been a long time running actually in terms of the different policies changing for the last maybe 10 years, I would say, and we've all accepted it, but now it's gone to the point where actually it's going to affect us massively. And
social media erupted as fans of Jeremy Clarkson quickly voiced their anger and confusion. Many struggled to understand why a man who has built an empire on his loud opinions and bold personality would be targeted in such a way. It wasn't just Clarkson's loyal followers who were upset, an even broader section of the public seemed to rally behind him, questioning why someone like him, of all people, could face arrest. What was the real story? Why would a figure so well known, particularly in the world of agriculture, where he's become somewhat of a champion for farmers, be involved in something that could lead to such extreme consequences? Some began to frame Clarkson as the next Tommy Robinson-style victim of what they called a tyrannical government. What truly drew attention, however, was the government's reaction, especially that of Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party. To many, it felt like the situation was morphing into a political spectacle, with Starmer's apparent indifference only fueling the controversy. Even as petitions for re-election gained traction, Starmer's responses left critics branding him as ruthless, a leader who, in their view, appeared not to care about anyone.
It's now over 2 million now? It's now just over 2 million.
Do you feel the pressure?
Look, I remind myself that very many people didn't vote Labour at the last election.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that many of them want a rerun. That isn't how our system works. There would be plenty of people who didn't want us in the first place. So look, what I focus on is the decisions that I have to make every day.
Keir Starmer had a chance to show the public that he was paying attention, a chance to respond to the growing calls for change. Instead, he seemingly laughed in the face of a petition signed by 2 million people calling for a new election. Starmer didn't appear concerned at all. In fact, he almost mocked the idea, dismissing the public outcry with laughter rather than taking it seriously. That's not how trust is built. If anything, his reaction made it seem like he wasn't listening. The petition sent a clear message: 2 million people were unhappy with how things were going and demanded change. Yet, Starmer's dismissive response served as a glaring reminder to many that he might not care about what the people want.
Your approval rating is lower than Nigel Farage's right now.
I'm not surprised, quite frankly.
Are you now feeling the pressure? Because I think there's a petition that's currently
Your approval
online
ratings have dropped.
1.9 people who want the election to go again.
It's now
is
over
it 2 million now?
It's now just over 2 million.
Do you feel the pressure?
I'm not surprised that many of them want a...
The fact that Keir Starmer laughed it off wasn't just a poor choice, it was a statement. It sent a clear message: I don't care what you think. For many, this was far from the leadership they had hoped for. Starmer missed a critical opportunity to connect with voters and show that he understood their frustrations. Instead, he brushed them off as if they didn't matter. The more Starmer ignored the growing discontent, the more the public began to feel unheard, even invisible. In a democracy, that's a dangerous sentiment to foster. If the rumors are true and Starmer is somehow involved in Clarkson's potential arrest, the implications are hard to ignore. Such an action would be seen as a direct attack on free speech, an attempt to silence one of the UK's most influential voices. And this isn't just anyone, it's Jeremy Clarkson, a figure whose blunt opinions not only dominate headlines but also shape the national conversation.
They're taking over. We've got a two-tier police system that supports them more than the Christian majority. We're given second-rate housing compared with them. We're treated as second-class citizens. And what's more is the indoctrination of the young children in schools, the brainwashing of police, teachers, university dons and the rest of it. And they're afraid, they're shit scared of losing their jobs. That's why they're cowards in my book.
Jeremy Clarkson has always had a knack for speaking his mind, no matter how controversial. Whether people agree with him or not, his ability to spark conversation is undeniable. That's why the idea of silencing him raises so many red flags. If Keir Starmer or anyone else is using their power to target outspoken critics, the issue extends far beyond Clarkson himself. It points to a deeper problem, the suppression of dissenting voices. This isn't the first time Starmer has faced accusations of silencing critics. Take Nigel Farage, for instance. The former UKIP leader and vocal government critic has also clashed with Starmer's administration. Farage, who has long alleged a cover-up surrounding the Southport attack, found himself silenced in ways many found troubling. Both Clarkson and Farage, no matter how polarizing, share one critical trait: they aren't afraid to speak their truth. Yet, their experiences suggest a pattern that goes beyond individual personalities, raising questions about the state of free speech and political accountability in the UK.
Southport, all I can say to you right now is I know a hell of a lot more than the British public know. A hell of a lot more. I've been completely silenced. I dared, the day after Southport, to do a video to say, can we please know who this man is? Was he known to the authorities? Why do I feel we're not being told the truth? The level of demonisation I came under for that from both front benches was astonishing. From media commentators, demonisation on a level that I'd never even experienced. Now I'm told by the Speaker of the House of Commons, I can't ask questions about it in the House of Commons. Parliamentary privilege is out of the window.
The moment they go against the grain, they face backlash. It's not just about the individuals involved, it's about what this says about how the government treats those who challenge it. If Keir Starmer is willing to go after critics like Jeremy Clarkson, it sends a dangerous message: speak out, and you might get silenced. When you think about Jeremy Clarkson, you might think of Top Gear or his cheeky, sometimes controversial remarks. But in recent years, Clarkson has carved out a new role for himself as an unlikely hero to farmers. His show Clarkson's Farm gave millions of viewers an inside look at the struggles of farming in modern Britain. For many, Clarkson became a voice for rural communities that had long felt ignored by both the media and the government.
Oh yeah, it's not the fact that I bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax. The fact.
You told the Sunday Times in 2021 that's why you bought it. Sorry?
BBC. Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
I wanted a shoot, okay? That's even worse to the BBC. I wanted a shoot, which comes with the benefit of not having to pay inheritance tax. Now I do. But people like me will simply put it in a trust. And so long as I live for 7 years, that's fine. And as my daughter said, you will live for 7 years. You might be in a deep freeze at the end of it, but you will live for 7 years. But it's incredibly time-consuming to have to do that. And why should all these people have to do that? Why should they?
So one of the reasons Rachel Reeves says she brought this in is to stop wealthy people using it as a way of...
No, that was the only reason she did.
Well, no, the other reason was to raise money for public services. Oh, well, have you seen...
Are you listening to this?
Have you tried to get a GP appointment lately?
Yes,
Right.
I just recently had a heart attack.
Farmers, who often work in isolation, have found in Jeremy Clarkson a loud and unrelenting advocate. He has used his platform not just for entertainment, but to spotlight the very real challenges facing Britain's agricultural industry. From rising costs to bureaucratic red tape, Clarkson's candid portrayal of farming struggles has resonated deeply with those who feel they have no one else in their corner. But Clarkson's impact goes beyond raising awareness. His ability to spark important conversations and rally people around a cause sets him apart. He isn't just a celebrity, he's become a genuine ally to the farming community, amplifying their voices in ways few others have. For Keir Starmer, attempting to silence Clarkson, or even being perceived as doing so, could have serious consequences. Clarkson is more than a TV personality, he's a trusted figure among farmers. Targeting him risks alienating an entire group of voters who already feel their concerns are being ignored. Amid this, a broader issue emerges. Under Starmer's leadership, many believe the UK is losing its way. From economic decline to rising living costs, public dissatisfaction is mounting. And for many, Starmer's leadership style seems to be exacerbating the problems rather than addressing them.
Look at the numbers, how many people, he got in, he didn't get many votes, and those people who voted for him now are having second thoughts. So it's not just the farming, it's everything, it's civil liberties. We've got people locked up for tweets, and we've got paedophiles walking the streets.
Paedophiles walking the streets?
Yeah. Well, it's true, isn't it? It's disgusting, and people can see, and he can try to shut us down as much as he likes, but it will not work. They've lied to people about the farming, about the tax, they've lied about where they've got the clothes from, they've lied about a CV. Rachel Reeves about a CV. I mean, it's just, and she's I mean, everything that comes out of their mouths are lies. How can we trust this government? We need to get...
Take the economy, for example. Keir Starmer has struggled to offer any meaningful solutions to the ongoing financial crisis. Meanwhile, the cost of living continues to rise, leaving people grappling to make ends meet. Yet, Starmer's responses come across as distant and detached, as if the daily struggles of ordinary citizens aren't on his radar. The situation isn't much better when it comes to political stability. Starmer's reluctance to address the major issues facing the nation has contributed to a growing sense of hopelessness. Many can't shake the feeling that the UK is heading in the wrong direction, and his leadership, or lack thereof, seems to be making matters worse. The more Starmer dismisses concerns, the more people feel like there's no hope for meaningful change. On top of this, his failure to provide a clear vision for national unity has left the country divided. People are unsure of what they're fighting for or striving toward. This lack of direction only deepens the frustration and adds to the challenges facing the UK.
The Prime Minister struggled to identify what a working person was. If he was here today and he looked out of that door there at Downing Street, he would see what working people are, because these are, if you like, the last remnants of proper getting your hands dirty working people left in this country.
If Keir Starmer has any plans to arrest Jeremy Clarkson, there will be consequences, and not just for Clarkson, but for the entire nation. The public isn't going to sit by quietly. If this arrest happens, it will likely be the spark that ignites a wave of protests. People who already feel their voices are being ignored will take to the streets. They'll march in protest, not just against Starmer, but against a system that seems to silence its critics at every turn. This could become more than just a protest about one person. It could evolve into a demonstration for free speech, for democracy, and for the right to challenge those in power. The message will be clear: if Starmer is behind this, the people won't stand for it. The streets will be filled with voices demanding accountability and change. It's not just about Clarkson, it's about protecting the right to speak up and hold the powerful accountable. I want to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this video interesting, make sure to like, share, and send it to anyone who should be part of this conversation. Let's make our voices heard.